A season that started with high hopes has turned sour for Maryland baseball. 2/3 of the way through 2025, the Dirty Terps sit near the bottom of the Big Ten standings, are in the midst of a rough conference slate. We'll break down Maryland's highs, lows, and reasons for hope on this episode of The Left Bench in Focus.
Welcome to the Left Bench in Focus, presented by Terrapin Sports Central. I'm Brendan Weissel, joined by Daniel Stein. And Daniel, the Maryland baseball team, they've had the talent to compete in the Big Ten, but they really have not been able to put all the pieces together so far this season.
Yeah, Brendan, the one thing I think they've lacked is just being able to play complementary baseball. That's been their biggest problem. That trend continued as Maryland welcomed number 15 Oregon to College Park. After taking Game 1 on Sunday's doubleheader, the Terps had a chance to win the series in the second game, but fell flat against the Ducks. The Terps began the game in the lead after a 2-run single by Hollis Porter, but once the fifth inning comes, Maryland loses the lead and never gets it back. With the game knotted up at 3, Oregon's Mason Neville steps up to the plate and demolishes a 3-run homer to left center, his 16th of the season. 2 batters later, Jacob Walsh launches to right center, giving the Ducks a 5-run fifth. Oregon adds another in the 6th and 4 more in the 9th to leave College Park with a comfortable 13-3 win and the series win. Here's Maryland head coach Matt Swope on what went wrong for his team.
We just kind of ran out of steam, and again, kind of the theme for the season is just way too many freebies there. Like the majority of the game, we were kind of escaping throughout the game and trying to just go on sheer grit and trying to get that comeback.
The bat started off flaming hot for Maryland this season, but even from the jump, that didn't mean the Terps were winning games. Currently, Maryland sits near the bottom of the Big Ten, so let's look back at how they got there. Maryland has struggled to make everything work together at the same time. Maryland lost its first weekend series of the year to Western Carolina, despite scoring a ridiculous 51 runs that weekend. Last year's team was known for their late game heroics. In 2025, that isn't the case. Maryland sits at 2-8 in games decided by 2 runs or less. As for conference play, pitching has been Maryland's biggest struggle. The Terps have scored the 3rd most runs in the Big Ten, but only have 4 wins to show for it. That's because the Terps have allowed more than 7 runs per game in conference games. Maryland sits at 16-21 overall and 4-11 in Big Ten, with half the conference schedule still remaining.
To help us understand the struggles of Maryland baseball this season, we'd like to welcome the co-director of broadcasting for the Maryland Baseball Network, Jack Susanin. Jack, thanks so much for being on the show.
Thanks, guys. Honored to be here.
Well, we're honored to have you. So start the season, the Maryland team had high expectations, both inside the locker room, but also outside the locker room. What has gone wrong for this team?
And like you said earlier, it's just been a matter of the fact that they can't play complementary baseball right now. The talent is there. They're one of the best teams on paper, probably in the Big Ten, but for whatever reason, it's not been there. When the hitting is there, sometimes the pitching or defense isn't. When the pitching's there, the hitting isn't. Take a look at the Washington series, for example. When the only game they won 2-1, and then lost some other games because they couldn't get the bats going. It's just been a matter of not putting all of the phases of the game together at the same time, and it really, really has cost them up to this point.
And Jack, you mentioned how on paper, there's a lot of talent on this team, and there's a lot of returners from last year. But how about the new guys? How about the transfers and the freshmen? What do you make of them so far? Who's most impressed you?
Well, you have to start with the big man, Hollis Porter, who was supposed to be the big first baseman for Maryland. He's now moved into that designated hitter role, and man, can he hit. Set the program record at Pearl River Community College for home runs in a single season with 20. How does that transfer to the Big Ten? Well, he's got 13 already. This guy can absolutely mash. And then you look on the mound, a lot of questions coming in to the season for Maryland's rotation. While Jake Yeager and Logan Hastings haven't featured that prominently as of late in the rotation, they still are very much involved. And then, of course, Christopher Cespedes out of the bullpen has been money.
Absolutely. Let's take a look now and let's look at the standings. Maryland currently sits at 12th in the Big Ten. Currently sits at 16th in the Big Ten. The top 12 teams will make the Big Ten tournament. Do you think with half the Big Ten schedule remaining, can they get up to that 12th spot and make the Big Ten tournament?
Obviously it won't be easy for them considering, like you said, they are in 16th right now. But if you look at their remaining schedule, it's definitely much easier than it has been. They've already played Oregon and UCLA, two of the top teams, not only in the conference, but in the country as a whole. Look at the teams that they play left. They have 5 remaining Big Ten series. 3 of those teams are under 500 in conference play. They host Nebraska, who's not been up to their standard this year. They also go to Minnesota, and then they host Rutgers for that final series. I have a feeling, guys, it's going to come down to that final series at home against Rutgers. And if you remember last year, hosting Penn State, where Maryland needed to win that series to make the Big Ten tournament, that didn't go well. So I think a big chance for Maryland to, exercise those demons could be this year at home in the final series against Rutgers.
Definitely going to be an interesting race to the end of the season. But as the season does wind down, inevitably there's going to be some guys who move on to bigger and better things. Do you think that there's any Maryland players on the roster that could possibly get drafted this summer and maybe even make it to the majors?
I mean, you absolutely have to start with Alex Calarco, a guy for Maryland who maybe didn't have many draft looks coming into the year, but he has hit the cover off of the baseball. In the top 8 in the Big Ten in home runs. No one really expected that after only 4 homers for each of the past 2 seasons for Northwestern and Maryland, respectively. The guy has just done everything different this year. They changed some of his motor preferences, which have been huge for him. So Alex Calarco, definitely a name to look out for. Also Kyle McCoy on the mound, obviously a redshirt sophomore, but that is his 3rd year of school, so he is eligible to be drafted. And with how good he's been on the mound, would not surprise anybody to hear his name called this summer.
Well, Jack, that's all the questions we have for today, but thanks for being up here and answering our questions, and we'll see you later for the game in Studio B.
Awesome. Thank you guys very much.
You can stay up to date with all of Jack's coverage by following him on X at Susanin Sports. Also, be sure to stay up to date with Maryland Baseball Network by visiting their website at marylandbaseballnetwork.com or following them on X at MDBaseballNet.
Now, don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we'll put on our thinking caps for a new game called Name That Pitcher, as well as show my visit to the brand new Terps indoor facility.
And of course, we'll reveal our top Terp of the year and our top 5 plays. Stay with us. I nearly couldn't find my hat there. Sorry about that.
I don't have a thinking cap.
Yeah, that was the point.
You got all the knowledge. You're good.
I don't know about all the knowledge.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Good interview.
Off to B.
Welcome back to the Left Bench in Focus, presented by Terrapin Sports Central. I'm Daniel Stein, he's Brendan Weissel, and he's Jack Susanin. And as promised, it's time for a new game called Name That Pitcher.
All right, so when this game begins, we'll see an outline of a pitcher as well as a few stats about their performance. We'll have to guess who it is. Guys, should we get started?
Yes,
Let's do it.
Absolutely. All right, first one. Let's see it, guys.
Let's see it.
Fancy transition.
All right.
Ooh, okay.
We do have an outline here, but I'm not sure how helpful that's going to be. I think the stats are going to be our move.
Okay, so 3-4, 35 innings pitched, 6.7 ERA, 6.17 I should say, 35 hits. It says 21 walks,
Yep.
and then 27 strikeouts. Okay, so we know from this that it's a right-handed pitcher.
Yep.
Presumably. Looks like he's got a little Letty in the back, so a little longer hair, I guess. Do people still say Letty anymore?
I mean,
Once in a
I thought
while.
we weren't looking at the outline. We were just looking at the stats.
Well, we can.
okay.
That outline's fair play.
It's fair game, but I'm looking at the stats and I see, an improved strikeout to walk ratio, more strikeouts than walks. That ERA a bit high, but the record not too bad. I've got my guess. I don't know, Daniel or Brendan, if you guys have a guess.
I have a guess, too. You have one?
I have a guess. Should we say it at the same time?
Okay.
That might mess up the audio.
It might mess it up. I'm going to go with Logan Hastings. What do you guys
I
think?
think it's Hastings.
I was thinking the same thing, that strikeout rate has gotten better over the last couple of outings, and that ERA may be a bit high due to some other outings.
I know it's
some recent
around that
outings
area.
he's had, but I think that's probably Hastings. I'd say 7 out of 10 confidence rating.
Let's see.
All right, let's see it.
Hey,
There we
at
go.
that.
Got it.
We have it. All right.
One
we're
for
one
one.
for 4. Or we're 1 for 1. We still have 3 to go. 4 in total. All right. Feeling pretty good about that so far.
All right, let's see the next
See
one.
it.
Okay. A lefty.
We have a lefty here. The outlines are more helpful than I thought they were going to be. Only 1 and 2 though.
2 saves, and then over 25 innings pitched, 22 hits and 22 walks, but then a 5.68 ERA.
Now, guys, I think the key here is looking at those 2 saves. This is a guy who, if I'm right, is mostly going to come out of the bullpen.
Yep.
Lefty out of the bullpen. Even though he just made a start, I think I have a feeling I know who this is. And I'm going to go with the senior Andrew Johnson.
That's a good one, because I was thinking, I see that he's a lefty, right? And so that to me means it could be one of 3 pitchers. It could be Omar Melendez, Devin Milberg, or Andrew Johnson. But the 2 saves, he's been critical in that kind of back-end bullpen this season. So I like that Andrew Johnson guess. Brendan, what do you think?
I'll have to agree with you guys. You guys have been calling games a little more knowledge than I have. So I'll stick with your pick.
Okay,
Let's
we're
see
gonna
it.
guess AJ. All right.
All right.
Very good
Very
walk-up
well.
song as well for Andrew Johnson.
What's he got?
He's got Rattling Bog as he comes in.
Oh, yeah.
That's like I don't know, I'd call that aura for a closer coming
College
in out of
kids
the
love
bullpen.
that song. They love it.
It's a great song.
Yeah, that's
It's
crazy.
Matt Shaw's favorite song.
You might hear more about him later, actually.
All right, let's see what we got here. I'm gonna try not to block the stats. Okay, 3 and 2, 53 innings pitched, 3.06 ERA, 50 hits, 14 walks. I think that says 51 strikeouts or 57 strikeouts. So good numbers for this guy.
That one's going a bit off, but get a good idea of who it is. I think there's only one guy who's pitched that many innings this year, right?
Yeah, I agree. And with that low of an ERA, bit tough to tell from the silhouette, but it looks like a lefty to me. And I think it has to be Maryland's ace, Kyle McCoy.
I'll agree on that. I mean, you were talking about him earlier, so I agree with that, and we
All
were
right.
right. That was the easiest one, just because the ERA. We know it's
Yeah.
low. All right,
3 for 3.
3 for 3. One more.
See if we can go
Wait,
for
you're
a
thinking
4.
caps for this one.
Okay, 1 for 2, 1 and 2, I should say. 24.2 innings pitched, 7.66 ERA, 32 hits, 10 walks, 20 strikeouts. And it's a right-hander. I have a guess. It's based on the silhouette, because the guy I'm thinking of has, I wouldn't say a distinct, but he's definitely got cool pitch mechanics. He throws the ball in a very, very interesting way. And I think that would match up with, he's pitched half the innings of Kyle McCoy. But I don't know, do you guys have a guess?
This one's interesting to me. Again, the inning count is throwing me off a bit here. That, again, high ERA, 1 and 2 record. I don't know if I have a guess for this one. It's throwing me off a bit.
Brendan, what do you
I don't know. I don't think I can put my finger on it either. Who'd you say again?
I have a guess.
Okay.
I think it's Andrew Koshi.
I was thinking Koshi as well.
Because the way that he throws the ball, he kind of like slings it out of his right hand in a way where a lot of the other Maryland pitchers are very overhand. So that was why it led me to Koshi.
With that in mind, should we lock that in?
I'm ready to lock it in.
All right,
for
it's
Koshi.
big for a chance to go
lock it
4
in.
for 4. Let's see it.
Wow.
Oh no!
Oh,
Then
no.
wow.
That, we'll take that one as one we got wrong. But, Ryan Van Buren, another senior on this team, and a guy that they haven't used as much recently, but, when they need length, that's the guy you're looking for, those 24 and 2/3 innings pitch. I think the big thing with Van Buren this year, look at those walk numbers. Those are way down from his first couple years with Maryland. And, even though he's had a tough year in the ERA department, I think those low walk numbers could contribute to him being a huge factor down the stretch for this Maryland team.
Absolutely. We're being told we have one extra one to look at, so let's see who it is.
Bonus. Oh,
I mean,
they're throwing a curveball at us.
Yes, they are.
Anyway, 292 average, 13 homers, 49 RBIs. Okay, so this would be one of Maryland's better hitters.
I mean, I've got it based on 2 indicators. for me. Well, actually, all the stats are indicators, but you look at the 13 home runs, that limits it to 2 guys, Alex Calarco, Hollis Porter, and one of those guys has a lot more walks than the other. Hollis Porter does not walk a lot. He did actually walk a lot this weekend, but Alex Calarco has been seeing the ball a lot better out of the pitcher's hand. In the walk department, he's been taking a lot more pitches. This has to be the senior backstop switch hitter, Alex Calarco.
You think so? Okay. Yeah, because I was thinking his average hovered around 300 this weekend, but so that hence the 292. Brendan,
Yeah, I'm going to agree with that with you guys as well on that one. I think the average is a little bit lower than you would think, but given the home run stats, I think it has to be. And there we go.
There we
Mr.
go.
Shake
Very
Shack.
well
Mr. Shake Shack.
I mean,
A
those
good
had to
call.
be very good burgers.
That was a great social post yesterday, I thought.
Well, that was a fun game, but have you guys ever wondered where these Maryland pitchers and Alex Calarco go to train before hitting the diamond? Well, as of January of this year, the Dirty Terps have a new indoor home. I got a chance to tour the new Stanley Bob Baseball Performance Center with Maryland captain Eddie Hakopian. Take a look. What's up, guys? I'm here at the new Stanley Bob Baseball Performance Center here with Maryland infielder and captain Eddie Hakopian. Eddie, thank you so much for allowing us to be in this beautiful space.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'd love to show you guys around. I don't spend much time here, but the pitchers do. This is where everyone does their bullpens. We got some monitors and TVs up here, a lot for TrackMan and the pitchers to see kind of where they're at velocity-wise and spin rate-wise, and the guys use that a lot, so that's good stuff. So we can go over here. Obviously, we got some rollers here. We got a nice little setup for guys to look at like synergy and kind of just watch some film on the computer. Here we got our water bags we use a lot to warm up, and some of the plyo balls the pitchers use, bands, rollers. Rollers are big.
Senior, someone who's been here now before the new facility and now gets to train with it this year. How has it kind of differed your training regimen?
Yeah, I mean it's a lot more organized. You kind of know what you're gonna get every day when you come in here. Obviously, you kind of always have to have a plan. It's been great to have this. It's such an advantage for us. It's beautiful. It's really spacious, and we can just get all the work done we need.
You played a year at Cypress College. How does this facility compare to the one you had in California?
Yeah, Cypress College was beautiful. I mean, we didn't really need many indoor cages because it was 75 and sunny every day out there. We had a couple outdoor cages, kind of just get your work in, but it doesn't compare to this. Here's some of our bats. Obviously, this is where we kind of sit down, watch people hit, and then here we smash balls. These are the beautiful cages. This is my favorite part of the indoor, the wall over here. Kind of has all our past players, our guys in the MLB now with their cards up here.
Manager Matt Swope,
Yeah.
second season, hitting guru, so to speak. How has he used this new facility to keep you guys at the top level?
We have 24/7 access to this place. You can come in whenever you want. Swope's been great, just kind of organizing when we come in, and if we need to come in as a team, we come in as a team. If guys want to get work on their own, they can come in 24/7 whenever they need. Using the spin ball here we can match up any pitcher that we're facing, and we can throw his exact velocity, exact curveballs, exact sliders, exact changeups. So that's a big advantage. Obviously, we hit some live ABs in here with a mound. 60.6 inches, obviously, and then we just back it up here, and it's great because we got a nice black wall in the back, so you can see the ball great, and we just got a ton of machines, ton of guys wanting to hit. So anytime you kind of want to hit, you can come down here, ask someone to feed you, and someone will hit with you.
When the facility first opened, it was funny watching. I think it was Lambros with the little GoPro walking around. Everyone seemed super excited about it.
Yeah.
What was kind of your first impression of it, and was there anything that stuck out when you first walked in the facility? Like, wow, really needed this?
Yeah, no. My first impression was just how phenomenal it looked. I didn't expect it to look this great. Like I said, I can't stop talking about this wall. I love this wall so much. I think it's such a cool little niche that they added, and I also love the speakers are great. So you come in here, if you're alone, you just want to get off the tee, you can turn on whatever you want, and you can blast it. So.
What's like your go-to like BP music?
Yeah, it's very interesting. If I'm alone and I'm just kind of just feeling things out, I love like a little slow country, a little Rascal Flatts or something I can get into, like John Party. Sometimes I like throwbacks, like Come On Eileen or Frankie Valli in the Four Seasons. So it kind of varies, but if I'm one of the bunch of guys, I'll listen to some rap or country or just whatever. I'm very flexible with it.
You mentioned how you love this wall.
Yeah.
Is there anything, what sticks out? You have a favorite player on this wall, or you're just kind of like looking at it?
I just like looking at it throughout. I mean, Lamont's great. He always come back. My dad's actually on this wall, which is really cool. He's down here. A lot of guys I played with too. LaRusso, Shaw, Shig on this wall.
So as you guys gear up into kind of crunch time in this season and get ready for the year, how is this facility kind of preparing you guys to get back to hopefully Omaha?
Just having a plan, being prepared, and just being able to run it off in the games. You know, trying to make it as realistic as we can, so when we go out there on Friday night, we're ready.
I know that we took down all of the BP stuff, so
Yep.
I was wondering, possible I could just throw from the mound?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. These are ball. Yeah, you throw one of these balls. Oh, that's great. Strike. That's some velo on it too.
Inside corner.
That was awesome. Some ride.
All right, well, Eddie, I really appreciate you letting us look around.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, and good luck on the rest of the season.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. Thank you.
I love that you got to go up there at the end and throw a pitch. You look like you were natural up there.
Yeah, you know, for the record, I did hit the inside corner on that one. It was a good pitch, but thanks again to Eddie and the team for letting me look around. It was really cool.
Yeah, they didn't catch the angle of you throwing the pitch. We have no idea where it went, but
No idea.
very well. You know what, Daniel, I can almost bet that Alex Calarco has probably been spending a lot of time in the new facility, and that's because he is our Terp of the Year so far. Calarco started off the season on fire. He got a hit in the first 15 games to start the season, except for the season opener. He also tallied 6 home runs in the first 7 games of the year, including grand slams in back-to-back games at Western Carolina. Calarco has started in all 37 games so far this year and leads the Dirty Terps in both home runs and RBIs. If Maryland becomes competitive in the Big Ten later in the season, don't be surprised if his bat is one of the big reasons why.
And for our Pro Terp, we're heading to the friendly confines. Former Maryland shortstop Matt Shaw only needed a little over a year in the minor leagues before going to the show. After his 3 seasons in College Park, Shaw finished with a career .320 average and is the program's all-time leading home run leader with 53 big flies. Shaw was drafted 13th overall by the Cubs in 2023 and made his MLB debut this past March. On the 29th, he hit his first career home run against the Diamondbacks. He continues to be a key contributor on a Cubs team that is off to a hot start in April, leading their division. Congrats to Matt on being named our Pro Terp.
I'm not surprised at all to see Matt Shaw up there as the Pro Terp, but you know, as we move into the last segment of the show, top 5, if we'd done this last year, I feel like it would have been all walk-offs, you know, cardiac Terps last year, but this year, I feel like it's just been grand slams.
It's been a lot of grand slams, so now it's time for our top 5 plays, and should I get it started?
Get it started, Daniel.
All right, let's take a look. So at number 5, we have Alex Calarco sending one to the moon. A grand slam in the mountains versus Western Carolina at number 5.
All right, number 4, also Alex Calarco, I promise, the last highlight for him of the show. Beautiful throwdown, great pop-up, what a dime, gets the out.
And at number 3, Jacob Orr, the senior, the guy who's been here all 4 years, with a go-ahead home run versus Oregon. Just cleared the wall, Jacob Orr did.
Let's go number 2 in the outfield. A pretty similar spot, actually, as the last highlight. We have Elijah Lambros in center field making a leaping grab. He's not done. The team helps finish it off. They get the double play. Oh, what a beauty.
And at number 1, Chris Akopian down to their final strike as our friend Jack Susanin says, College Park, the Grand Slam capital of the Northeast. That wasn't in College Park, but it was in a Maryland uniform. And Chris, man, what a player.
Oh, absolutely. It's so interesting. A lot of the top plays are so, so memorable for the season, but a lot of them actually didn't lead to wins, which is kind of what we've been talking about all show.
Yeah, but they've been great plays nonetheless.
Absolutely.
That'll do it for this episode of The Left Bench in Focus. Nathan Schwartz and Jonas Evans will be behind the desk next week for The Left Bench.
Be sure to keep up with all Terrapin Sports Central's coverage on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and X.
We'll see you next time.